the honor now, however, of bringing forward my other two co-hosts and giving them an opportunity to give some of their closing reflections over these last 2 days. And I'm gonna ask them in this order. If Bishop Joseph Tolton, he's gonna come and share some reflections, and then our own Reverend Dr. Kwok will bring hers, and then I'll be closing us out. And what an amazing day this has been. Bishop Tolton. And I know I saw him in, thought I did. All right, well, Reverend Dr. Kwok Puilan.
Thank you for organizing this, Bishop Rawls and the Freedom Center for Social Justice. When we began to plan this event in the summer, we anticipate lively conversation, radical reimagining, the courage to speak truths from our own context. In these 2 days, my spirit has been refreshed. My mind has been stretched, and my imagination has been much more broadened. I know that I'm not just speaking for myself. I am sure some of you must have felt that way. I want to thank Dr. Kwok for asking about the title, A New World Order. Really? Hasn't been the New World Order been talked about many times? Since Europeans first were discovered by the native people of the Americas, they call that a new world order was born. Didn't we hear that when globalization dominated the whole created earth, a new world order was proclaimed? But today, we dare to call this a new world order because there is a new world order yet to be born. I like this emerging world order. This new world order belonged to us. All of us, humanity, all of creation, all the new non-human species. I would call it a new world order from below. I was deeply moved by the exchange between Dr. Mumble and Bishop Rawls when they talk about how do we face the pain of colonization. You ask her, how could you live with that history? I am sure many African Americans have been asked again and again, how do they live with that painful history of slavery, which does not belong to a bygone era. We saw it, or similar things happening right in our own eyes along the US-Mexican border. How do we collectively live with the ruins of history? How can we continue to dream? Because this history not only colonized our minds and our bodies, but even our spirit. I love Dr. Tang's expression, spiritual contortion. We have to contort our spirit to fit in a mold that glorifies white hegemony, the discrimination of LGBTQ bodies, the marginalization of women, and all the enslaved species mourning and groaning for salvation. In times like this, Dr. Mambo said, this is really a Kairos moment. A Kairos moment for us to hear each other anew, to make the connection, to hear the echo from far beyond. I heard the echo between Dr. Chabet's presentation with Miss Gloria Fanchine's God Sees Us. I see the echo between Byron Ratti's beautiful African-American spirituals and the kind of Ubuntu theology understanding by Reverend Jeffrey Adera. It is that ability to make connections, to hear ourselves in other people's voices, to see other people's stories as part of my ruined memory and history, that collectively we can tell a new story and maybe even envision possibility for an emergent world order that we all can take part in and to build together. Yesterday, Bishop Tolton talks about uprising. Wonderful word. Uprising of our vision. As we conclude this 2 days event, receiving so much gifts from the artists, from the speakers, from the IT colleagues, from all who have worked so hard for us to have this feast of abundance. I charge all of us, certainly including myself, to operationalize that vision. Remember the jeepney that we heard that metaphor yesterday? The Philippine people turned the American war vehicle into jeepneys. First, take out the weapons. 2, expand the seats. But the most important thing is to use it as means of service and transportation. We have not heard the message yet for these 2 days. We have not received the gifts yet if we have not practiced it, operationalize it, so that what we have heard, the gifts we have received, can be means and channels of God's grace to this world. We need to proclaim the emergent world order is yet to be born. But we sign up to be part of the architectural team to build this. Thank you.
Wow. So that's why I asked her to speak, because I knew she would do exactly what she just did. I am so grateful for both of my co-hosts. I really so appreciate Bishop Tolton. He sends his regrets. He had to actually leave us a little earlier, but has been following us through the chat. So we definitely thank God for it and appreciate him. And Dr. Kwok, thank you for that amazing summation of our 2 days together. In terms of operationalization, y'all know what I'm saying. My mouth is all jumbled up because my head is exploding right now. In that sense, the Freedom Center is gonna hold that a bit and explore some ways that we can expand this particular liberating theologies in ways that we have not before, because I think this moment is calling for something more. And one of the things that I always challenge people around is that you rarely have to create something brand new to do what Dr. Kwok challenged us around. if we all just start right where we are, much is possible. So what the Freedom Center has is a platform that we can offer up. And what I look forward to being able to do is to explore with those who are interested in doing this journey with us, ways that we can best do this, right? And wanting that to be done, of course, with sensitivity to the fact that we're owning this must be a broad conversation. It must not just be something where everybody in one area says, okay, well, we'll continue the conversation. We can't do what we've just talked about in the absence of a willingness to open up broadly. And there is a way to do it. And definitely there is no shortage of talent present to be able to help us with that. We have an abundance of things. The way that I live my life is that everything I need, I already have, and in abundance. And it is true, right? So we'll be sending out a survey to you after this gathering. And among the things we will ask is whether or not you're interested in joining in with us to be a part of the shaping and framing of this platform. And I use the word platform intentionally. I loved the example that was offered about water and how water will take the form of whatever it is housed in. The question becomes, what does that container look like, though, right? Like, because it can also wind up leading to something destructive as well as something beautiful. So the shared thinking, the broader thinking, when thinking about Dr. Ko and I and our conversation, right? Like, some of us are maybe a little closer than others to some of this conversation. But in the absence of all of those other voices, or at least pieces of it, it'll be hard to create what we're talking about. So we'll be encouraging you all in that wise to, number one, share with us about your experience, because that will also help inform us. But beyond that, also to let us know if you are interested in being part of that continuing conversation. I'm definitely going to be reaching out to some of you. All of our speakers, by all means, we're hoping that I get a yes from y'all. With my Southern sensibility, that y'all just slipped right on out, right? But that's going to be so important. I want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart, as does the rest of our team. Nia, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. She was our coach, our lead for this effort. Tobias, thank you so much for all of the technical support, the graphic support. This would not have been possible without you all. We also have one team member, Risa, who did all the stuff around money and those kind of things, because of course, it's hard to do these kind of things without those considerations as well. And I'm so fortunate with the team we have. But most of all, just right where you are, start where you are with the conversations. Thank you all. God bless you. Have an amazing, amazing rest of the week. And we'll be seeing you soon, hopefully. God bless everyone.